lovely pentatonic scale. Just 5 notes, and it can sound so beautiful. My name is Michael, and today we're going to be looking at position 2 and 3 of the minor pentatonic scale. If you are unfamiliar with the first position of the pentatonic scale, then I recommend that you watch my first video on that topic, right here. Let's start off by showing you how to play this shape, and then I'll tell you why I play this shape in this position. I'm going to start with my middle finger on the low E string on the 8th fret. With my pinky I'm going to play the 10th fret. So it's once again the same as the first shape, only 2 notes per string. So once again, 8, 10, then 7, 10, 7, 10, 7, 9. Notice I'm playing this with my ring finger, with my 3rd finger. And after that I'm going to play with my middle finger once again on the 8th fret, the pinky, and then on the 10th fret, and then on the 8th fret again of the high E, my middle finger and my pinky on the 10th fret. So we have this. Why use this fingering? Well, it's a good exercise because in this position I'm using all of my 4 fingers. I've got the middle finger here, my pinky, my index finger, pinky, index finger, pinky, but then index finger and my 3rd finger. So right now I've already used all 4. What really helped me out in the beginning is to visualize these dots on the start of the pattern. They are actually the ending of the first pattern. So if you know the first pattern, once again in A minor, it ends on your pinky, right? And the second ends on your ring finger on the 7th fret. Notice that these 2 notes are actually the starting notes of the next position. So you can actually visualize all these dots right here. And then use that to know where to start the second position. And in this way they are really connected to each other. Once again, we've played it up right now. You can also play it down again. So then you start with your pinky on 10, 8, 10, 8, 9, 7, 10, 7, 10, 7, 10, 8. Now, there's a danger to this. If you're just going to play everything up and down, all these positions, and eventually know all 5, then you're just going to be playing these things up and down during a solo as well. So a good exercise my teacher gave to me in the beginning was to actually use a few licks, if you will, but still exercises to connect the 2 together. So what I used to do is this one, to also help you see how these 2 connect. So I'm going to start off in the first position of the A minor pentatonic. I'm going to start on the 5th fret. I'm going to play it all the way up till I get here. Then I'm going to slide with my pinky to the 10th fret. And now I'm going to play it backwards in the 2nd position. And end right here. This way I'm creating a loop for myself that I can keep playing like this. And this can also be applied to all the other patterns as well. But we'll get to that in a bit. I can highly recommend in the beginning to only pick just one position and really play that position for 1, maybe 2 weeks until you're confident enough that you've got it down. Once you've got it down, you can start to learn the 3rd. Because if you don't have it down, then you're also not going to be able to see how the other 2 positions connect. When learning these positions, it's best to find a fingering in which you don't have to move your left hand all over the neck a lot. Usually, like the pattern before, you can find a way to play it without moving your fingers. The index finger is set to this fret, this one, this one, this one. For the next pattern I have to make a slight move though. I'll show you. We're going to start with our index finger on the 10th fret. Then use our 3rd finger to play the 12th fret. Then I'm going to go up a string again. 10, 12, 10, 12, and here I have to make a little jump out of the pattern because here I have to play the 9th fret of the G string. then the 12th again. I'm using this with my third finger, so that I have my index finger right here on the 10th again, on the B string. Pinky on the 13th fret of the B string, and then end with 10 and 12 on the high E string. Once again, slowly but surely. Once you've learned this shape, you can try to connect them together. So you can try to go from the first to the third, or the second to the third, whatever you like. For this exercise, I'm gonna use the second position and then slide into the third, just like we did before, like this. Notice how on the high E string I slid up with my pinky to the 12th fret, and then I took over with my index finger, so that I can continue the pattern with the fingering that I just showed you. This is just something that I've taught myself. It works out for me, but if there's any other way that you like to do it, like with your ring finger, well, then that's fine as well. So once again, it's important to remember the shape instead of just knowing the frets of where to play it. Because if you're going to be in a different key, then I'm just going to have to play the shape only on a different place. So let's have a look at how this looks in G minor, for example. Well, in G minor, it doesn't start on the 10th and goes to the 12th fret. It actually starts right here on the 8th fret. So it's the same shape, just on a different place, which is like this. 8, 10, 8, 10, 8, 10, 7, 10, 8, 11, then 8, 10. And you've got G minor. Then, when you feel comfortable playing these three positions, you can start to play a few licks that combine them together. Just like the exercise I showed you, only then more musical. Here's one for you, and then I'll tell you how to play it. So this one connects the first position to the second one, and it starts on the 5th fret of the D string. And I'm using a hammer-on. A hammer-on is done by playing one note and then hammering on to a second note on that same string. So I'm on the 5th right here on the D string, playing it, and then hammering on to the 7th. Then I'm going to use a hammer-on the G string, slide up to the 9th fret, so we've got. Then I'm going to play the 10th of the B string, go back to the 9th fret of the G string, and slide back to the 7th and do a pull off to the 5th. One more time. And try to see that once you slide up, that you are actually in the second position of that minor pentatonic scale. And once again, if you want to practice this, you can try to put on a little backing track. This one is in A minor. In that little example, I played the first position, the second position, and ended in the third, and I tried to connect all three of them, just playing pentatonic notes. Once you feel comfortable doing that, well, then you can start to look at different keys again. So let's try one out in G minor. In my next video, we're going to be looking at positions 4 and 5, and we're going to be looking a little bit more in depth at how they relate to the root note. What that exactly means, well, we'll see next time. I hope you enjoyed, and please consider subscribing to my Patreon page. See you next time.